Alright guys, before we go any further, I just want to let you guys know that this quest line is currently being tested on the private test server and could be subject to changes or revisions. Also, there are major spoilers here, so you've been warned. But anyway, I won't yammer over the dialogue or anything, so sit back and enjoy the new Steel Rain questline.
Mr. Knapp, finding everyone that has gone missing is my top priority. But we need more evidence before we can act.
Evidence? Well, what more do you need, huh? Are you saying my Cassie is a liar?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Initiate. Excellent timing. There's something we should discuss. Mr. Knapp here has come to us with another missing persons case.
My niece Cassie. Cassie Holloway. She paid some caravan and folk to help her travel here from out west. Sent me some letters just before she set out. Them letters arrived just fine, but she didn't. I went and spoke with them caravanners, and they tell me that my Cassie never set out with them at all. Those, Blue Mountain,
The Blue Ridge Caravan Company. Really? This letter said they would acquire more people from Blue Ridge? Interesting. This is the first real lead we've found, and it connects directly with what Mr. Knapp is reporting. I actually had my own suspicions about the organization, but this information certainly tips the scales. I imagine any shady operations they may have in play wouldn't be something so easy to stumble across. Though, it's good to know you've had some dealings with them. And maybe that'll provide a foot in the door. I've made several attempts to contact the Blue Ridge Caravan Company in hopes of trading supplies. They turn me down. Every time. I understand that the Brotherhood can be an intimidating presence, and the West Virginia chapter didn't exactly leave behind a shining legacy, but I think we've shown we have Appalachia's safety and security at heart. Yet they remain unwilling to even speak. I find it suspicious. During our travels, we found that a caravan group was just as often a cover for slavers and raiders, the friendly guys for rolling through towns. I didn't suspect Blue Ridge of such at first, but their repeated refusal to talk, Mr. Knapp's story, and this letter are simply too much to ignore. We need to investigate this Blue Ridge Caravan Company immediately. Well, they have an office at the west end of the Big Bend Tunnel. Initiate. I'd like you to meet me there, but try not to attract too much attention either. If they realize we're in the Brotherhood, they may clam up. That's right. Fort Atlas is secure for the time being, and with Shin out of commission, I'd like to step in and do my part. This is our strongest lead by far. The two of us need to act quickly if we hope to safely return those that went missing. Fine. Don't see it as orders. See it as helping the people of Appalachia. I assume, regardless of where you and I stand, we remain united in the duty of helping others. There are lives at risk here. It can't be ignored. Thank you, Initiate. Ad Victorium.
place has a lot of potential.
Finally, a nice day. I'm sore all over.
Ah, there you are, Inishi. I mean, friend. Sorry for the informality, but we should keep a low profile. Don't want to spook anyone that might be listening in. Huh. Don't get too used to that. But listen, I was hoping we could talk for a few minutes before we head upstairs. Let me buy you a drink. What do you say? Oh, cut the crap. I'm being real here. There are some things we need to hash out. Come on, pull up a stool. Great. Take a seat.
Oh boy, a customer! What can I get for you? Neat! Well, you sure as shit ain't getting it on the rocks. Okay, here you go. Enjoy.
Huh. A fine choice. Salomati, my friend. Alan Connors. That's right. Dear, dear friend. The two of us were from the same unit in the National Guard. Alan had been my rock through every storm I weathered. We survived the bombs together, joined the Brotherhood together. He was more than my right hand. He was really a lifelong companion. I'd never really considered a world without him. Not just to me either. To both Valdez and Shin. He was like a big brother. Even a father. He was always there for them. That's the part that gets to me. He was an important person to damn near everyone. It's what makes his absence hurt even more. Almost certainly. When we lost Alan, Shin stepped up to take on many of his responsibilities. He was on top of the grief. That must have been a lot to handle. It led him to fall back on what he knows. On rules and doctrine. He doesn't trust anyone else to help him see beyond that. Not like he trusted Alan. And because of me, because of a call I made, we all lost him. I know Shin will never forgive me for it. No. I was the commanding officer. Blame starts at the top. That's one subject the two of us agree on, even if he doesn't realize it. I'll let that one slide, since we're off duty, so to speak. But don't for a minute think that you're in a position to lecture me on the responsibilities of my station. If anything, I fought against my better instincts and went with a plan that I myself doubted. But that kind of reflection is fruitless. I made the final call. The burden lies on my shoulders. I hope, at least, you can start to see things from my perspective more. To understand why I make the choices I make. That's interesting phrasing. Join. Never really thought about it that way. I was already in the National Guard, helping people, maintaining peace. That was my life. The Brotherhood didn't feel like a new organization. It felt like regrouping with my people. A return to form. Maybe some ranks and verbiage changed, but the heart of it was there. I'm not sure I even gave it a second thought. No, I don't think it's quite as simple as a bait and switch. When the founders started out, I genuinely believe they were fueled by a desire to protect people from the horrors of the old world. But time changed them. Paid too much attention to what they did and how, but lost sight of why. The people. Sometimes I think... No, I'm certain that I was selected for this mission in order to remove my perspective and influence. The Elders saw my pull and experience as a threat and knew I would never align with their goals. What better way to prevent my meddling than to send me packing on a cross-country venture? I often wonder if they ever expected me to report in at all. To make it here alive. Joke's on them, I guess. I think that's a fine idea. To whom? Yes, to Knight Alan Connors. May he never be forgotten. Besalamati. Now, on to business. Let's head upstairs. And remember to keep a low profile. We're just a pair of friendly traders looking for potential business.
Look out, here comes trouble. Oh, have you returned to plunge into the depths of Big Bend again? Well, I'm on break, sorry.
My name is Layla. I made an appointment to speak with you.
Please, Joanna is just fine, dear. And while all this cloak and dagger hubbub is flattering, why don't we cut to the chase, Paladin Romani?
Well, that was short-lived. Okay, Joanna. It appears I underestimated you.
And if it isn't my Employee of the Month, I was wondering when we'd get the chance to chat. I've made quite a pretty penny, thanks to your help. So many pretty pennies, I think I might hold a pageant. You still trying to get that backpack, dear? Plenty of work left to be done, you know.
I'd appreciate if the job offers were saved for later. We're here on pressing business.
Okay, Paladin. Down to brass tacks, then. It's not an accident that I finally opted to meet with you, after playing hard to get for so long. We know you're interested in the folks that have gone missing. We are too. Been looking into it for a spell now. Plain and simple, I wanted to handle this internally. I didn't want news of this stirring up a panic, maybe causing the perpetrators to flee. Our client paid us for safe transport, and we failed them. It was our responsibility to solve it discreetly. I'm sure you can appreciate that. As for deceiving Mr. Knapp, well, I dislike fibbing. But sometimes you've got to play your cards close to your chest, especially when lives are at stake.
I don't buy it. Sounds more like you were trying to prevent future clients from being scared off. It makes me wonder if this sudden cooperation isn't in the interest of helping others. Maybe you've just been caught.
I'd be offended by these accusations if it didn't weave such a fascinating story. Are you planning to sell that as a dime novel? Well, if you're wondering why my organization would choose to dodge your calls, examine the attitude with which you've started this conversation. This pseudo-authority you're flaunting is exactly the type of oppression and regulation that my free enterprise can do without. And what, pray tell, is that, darling?
We found correspondence from our suspects claiming they were acquiring people from Blue Ridge. It seems to me that your company has been transporting people in a different way than you've advertised. And involuntarily at that.
We've always been upfront and honest with this venture. The routes are dangerous, and our Brahmins sure as hell don't smell like roses. Everyone who works with us gets the straight truth. And I certainly don't take too kindly to what you're implying. I could stand here and deny your allegations every which way to Sunday. But I know you won't just take my word for it. So if you've got some hard evidence to prove my people were involved in this little scheme, show it. Otherwise, this letter of yours sounds more like we're the target, not co-conspirators. All right. That's fine by me.
Right now, the most important thing is finding everyone that has gone missing and returning them home. Being upfront with your involvement in this now will be looked upon favorably, because we're not stopping until this is solved and they are safe.
Slow down, Paladin. This is not an admission of guilt or an attempt to weasel out of responsibility. We are just as concerned about these folk as you. We're willing to cooperate in hopes of saving lives, nothing else. And if you're hoping I'm about to spill the beans on some secret abduction scheme, you're out of luck. We have the same goals as you in this.
Honeyed words, but we should proceed. What can you tell us about the people that went missing from your caravan?
Better to just let you take a look for yourselves. Ares! Come on in here!
This guy looks like some kind of guard. Probably armed. Don't take your eye off him, Initiate. Worked with him before, have you? Just remember where these hired guns' loyalties lie. The people paying them. Don't let your guard down just yet.
You rang, boss?
Harper's Ferry, the train tunnel. Mind showing our guests the route?
Oh, crap. You really want to go back there?
That was exactly my thinking, Ares. Head on over to that tunnel and show this duo of detectives the scene of the crime. Does that sound amenable to y'all?
The train tunnel itself isn't so important, but underneath is a top-secret gas pipeline running all the way out of the region. It's a pretty discreet route. Safe too, comparatively. Except, the most recent trip. Well, the last known whereabouts of one of our caravans. They set up camp there, but come morning, the entire place was abandoned. It was a big group, maybe around 15, including our own guard.
You've lost that many people? And we're only just now hearing about this.
That's on me. I chose to keep this off the books. May be a bad call, but let's save examining hindsight for when we've gotten to the bottom of this.
Okie dokie, I'll meet you there. It's the big fancy train tunnel, just east of Harper's Ferry.
Now, time is money, and I've burned a bottle and plant worth of caps chatting with you two. So if you don't mind, please direct any further inquiries to my masked associate.
Fine. But after reviewing the evidence, I plan to revisit Blue Ridge's involvement in this matter.
By all means. If you find something that gets us answers, we can talk till the Brahmin come home.
What's that over there? Didn't you hear? Gold everywhere.
Initiate. Glad you made it here safely. That Ares character is further ahead. I should mention, every instinct I have is telling me not to trust him. It seems we don't have much choice for the time being, but we'd be wise to keep an eye on him. I'm sure Shin would applaud your cool, logical analysis, but do not ignore human intuition. Not to mention experience. I've dealt with caravan groups like this before. More than once, we discovered that slavers had been using the guise of a caravan to collect and transport people. Blue Ridge using a dark corner like this for their operations only raises my suspicions. I cannot overlook the similarities. All right, you take point. And guns at the ready. I spotted some feral ghouls earlier.
Well, hello there. The spot we're looking for is further in the facility. There's a trick to getting in. Give me one shake of a lamb squatch's tail to get it open. Let's see, 30 days past September, carry the 2.
Is this for real?
And Viola is just a little further ahead. Please, after you.
Fine. But don't think we aren't keeping an eye on you.
I can't blame you. I know I'm a real looker. Okay, the cab's just past this door here. I'll get it open. And that's bad. Oh, that's very bad.
Speak, Ares. What's a holdup?
You're not gonna like this. Follow me. Yep, just like I thought. Let's chat. Welcome to the 9th Circle of Hell. First, the good news. It's bring your own paramilitary night, so the paladin drinks for free. Just your run-of-the-mill illegal natural gas pipeline, courtesy of the fine people at the Bish Company. A bit before the war, Bish offered to maintain this historic train tunnel out of the goodness of their cold, corporate hearts. And wouldn't you know it, they may have had an ulterior motive. Well, I hope you've gotten your tetanus shot. No telling where my face has been. But listen up first. Here's the quick version. Clever little me locks that door by setting off a bogus gas leak alarm. But it looks like in order to lift the lockdown, you need to verify there's actually no gas leak. The door is real picky like that. We ferried a lot of people through these tunnels. Didn't want any of our former clients trying to use it. Not for business reasons or anything. We just didn't want anyone else going missing down here. Oh, I'd love to, but there's a little problem. If you'll cast your steely gaze to the left, you'll see a massive, impenetrable wall of strangler vines. To verify there's no gas leak, we need to get to the pump room. One guess where the pump room is located. Winner, winner, rad steak dinner. There were some engineers living down here well after the bombs fell. Looks like they lasted a few years even. Which means they had a way of fighting back the vines. Maybe start by looking for how they did that. I snooped around a bit when I first recommended the route to Joanna. There's some offices that were clearly being used as bunks for a while. Not sure what happened to them. It almost looks like they just dropped dead on the spot. That's not a bad omen, is it? I don't know. They're all over this region, though. Hard as hell to cut, and they grow like they hold a grudge. In a past life, I used to work with these pencil-pushing sociopaths in suits. Well, not at this facility, but I was in the know about their various nefarious dealings in the region. Mm-hmm. I'll just skulk here in the corner in case another way of opening this door comes to mind. Let me know if you have any luck. Try not to die a terrible death.
That was some impressive detective work. Let's have a look at this. Aha! My hunch was right. According to the label, they made an extremely potent herbicide. Judging from this container, it looks like it's meant to be dispersed into a larger system. No sprinklers in here, so... Dear Lord. The facility's water line? That would explain the bodies out there, but... why? They must have known this would happen. No time to dwell on that. Initiate, let's look for a station where we can access the water line. This is what we need to weaken the vines. Here we go. This looks like it connects to the main water line. Let's talk next steps. I should be able to disperse the herbicide into the water line from here. I'm suspecting that the security system here won't appreciate that. Expect alarms. And the company that alarms tend to attract. Ready for a fight? Okay. Fingers crossed and guns at the ready. Let's take a look here. Okay. The chemical has started dispersing into the water systems. Damn, it's detected a foreign substance. Prepare for it to get noisy in here. Initiate, I'll need you to keep them off my back. Ad Victorium. Sample outside this room. I need more time. Keep it up! Gotten through to about half the facility. Can't stop now. I'll need to reach the drainage system if we're going to affect the vines. Give him hell, Initiate. Done. The chemical is pumping throughout the entire water system now, including a cess pipe that was for disposing of unwanted chemicals. Well, one sleazy company's environmental negligence is our gain, I suppose. Those vines should be weak enough to break through now. I, wouldn't drink the water if I were you, though. Did you hear that? That doesn't sound like a feral ghoul to me. We should watch our backs in here. hostile robotic entity? That's troubling. Be on the lookout. At a Soltron dressed up as a sheep? Whatever it was, it's dead, and we should be able to lift the lockdown. Let's get back to that terminal. And that's that. Time to head back to Ares, if he has anything to do with all this.
Your boss looks like she's about to strangle me with one of those vines. Something happened in there?
Ares? Between the feral ghouls, the strangler vines, and that insane sheep robot, I've about reached my limit with this place. And your antics. I don't know if this is some kind of trap or elaborate cover-up, but we need to get through that door and get answers. Now!
Whoa, whoa, trap? Where's this coming from? Hold on. Did you say sheep robot? Like the Baba kind or the killer robot kind?
Ares, the door! Now! Please!
Okay, just give me a second. Yeesh.
Nearly there now. We're getting closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Alright, let's see here. Login credentials, check. New terms of employment, yeah. Benefits enrollments expired, sure. And done. Trust me now? I'll even lead the way, so if you change your mind, it'll be easier to shoot me in the back.
Thank you for opening the door. But know that if we find anything linking you to this, you're still going to have to answer for it.
Add it to the catalog of questionable things I already have to answer for.
Seems like you've been pretty thorough. Are you ready to discuss what you've found? Excellent. I'll take what you've collected. Let me take a look at what you found. I just need a minute to review it all.
Pull out your decoder rings, kids. It's detective time.
I see. That's concerning. Wait a moment. This name. I know this name. I think I've seen enough. Initiate, we should discuss our findings. Well, it seems like Cassie was indeed a part of this caravan group, but I think it'd be a good idea to step through the evidence together. I may have been assuming too much about Blue Ridge's involvement. I'd like to be on the same page, so where would you like to start? Yes. It would seem this was a routine trip, until the end. Something kept them here, and forced them to set up camp so close to home. Not quite. While that seems like a believable conclusion, the evidence points elsewhere. They were bunked down here due to a rad storm. A large group of civilians and merchants accompanied by just a single guard. Sitting ducks. Indeed. It looks like we have a clear account of their last moments here. That was my take as well. Based on Cassie's description and the letter you found earlier, we can assume they were these Hellcat mercenaries. The total number of people they've abducted, though, is staggering. Nearly 15 in this trip alone. Right. The manifest. One name in particular really stood out to me. Did you notice it? That's right. Dr. Blackburn. Not only was he present on multiple trips, but Cassie makes mention of him speaking with the armed strangers. Likely these Hellcat mercenaries you've dealt with. I imagine Dr. Blackburn was the one employing them. I knew the name sounded familiar. I had read it in Shin's report of your very first assignment with us. Think back, Initiate. Do you recall why Dr. Blackburn had been seeking our assistance? That's right. Dr. Blackburn was seeking assistance with his experiments. Something about curing diseases and helping people. I suspected it was too good to be true. And the evidence here certainly doesn't look promising. But could he really be kidnapping people? Indeed we do. Dr. Blackburn was hiring these Hellcat mercenaries to kidnap people from this route. It would appear they were cautious at first, but took advantage of a rad storm to steal away an entire group. An unfortunate end, but there's still hope of finding them. The only thing left is to report back our findings and determine Blackburn's location. I'm glad I had you here, Initiate. There's a few things I'm sure I would have missed if you hadn't been here to help. I do believe we make a pretty great team. I can't blame you. My sights are entirely focused on everyone that's gone missing. But I can't just plow through everything to reach that goal. This experience has helped me see that. It's something that I know I need to improve upon. Not just as leader of the Brotherhood, but as a person. And hopefully, to begin earning back your trust. Anyway, we should get back to Atlas and report what we found. If we can determine where Blackburn took this group, we may be able to track down Cassie, and perhaps countless others. I'll meet you there. Good work, Initiate. Ares, I owe you an apology. My rash behavior was unfitting of my position, and frankly, unfair to you.
Water under the bridge. All of my best friendships start with misplaced suspicion of mass kidnapping.
I will take your word for it. I am sorry either way.
If you really want to make it up to me, I've heard you guys have some killer rocket launchers to spare.
Absolutely not.